All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're continuing the Beatles re-listen series. We're now on the White Album. This is the big album, okay? This is the double album. This is the album that everyone glazes as, like, the best fucking piece of music ever conceived. Okay, this thing is 2 discs, an hour and a half. In total, it's 30 tracks. This is a chunky album. And honestly, I'm going into this one very mixed on what I think my reception is going to be coming out of it, because a lot of the Beatles albums up to this point on these re-listens have grown on me a decent bit. Then Magical Mystery Tour shrunk. Like a lot. Like a fairly decent amount that album shrunk on me. So, I'm going into this a little worried. Aware of the fact that, okay, not all of these albums are growing on me. Not all of these albums are, around the same level of quality or higher on further listen. It's possible for them to get worse. And I'm so worried if that happens with this album, because this is a long-ass album. And if I don't find this that interesting this time around, this is going to be a torturous listen, because, again, it's an hour and a half. That being said, though, I do have faith that I'm going to still enjoy this album. I remember the second disc being pretty fucking incredible of this thing, the first disc being solid as well. I remember this album being maybe a little tonally inconsistent, maybe a little bit bloated at points, but for the most part being just a generally pretty great experience, and one that I very much got a lot out of when listening to it for the first time. So I'm going into it still with high hopes. This album came out, of course, in 1968. Again, it is 30 tracks, an hour and a half, beefy album. My original score for this thing was an 8.6, and now we're going to see if that score goes up or down this time around. Let's run it. Track 1, Back in the U.S.S.R. Damn. Crazy fucking tremolo guitar. Good transition into Dear Prudence. Yeah, Back in the U.S.S.R, still a great opener. I'm feeling like a low to solid 8 on this. So it goes hard. It's not the most impressive Beatles opener. I feel like this track definitely does feel like just kind of standard Beatles when they're doing something a little heavier, a little more fast-paced. I do appreciate kind of the little nods to the Beach Boys melodically throughout the track. I think that the writing on this one is solid as hell. And again, the energy is there, and I do still think it's a great song. It's just not my favorite opener from the band. It kind of just feels like being dropped into the middle of an album as opposed to like a solid way to establish a tone, which also, I guess, in a very roundabout way, is the most perfect tone setter for this album in general because of how all over the place it is. I don't know. Minor gripes aside, it is genuinely a great song, though. I mean, Back in the U.S.S.R, this shit fucking slaps, obviously. All right, next track, Dear Prudence.
Won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence. Won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence.
Interesting regarding MMT episodes, as listeners and getting a reputation for me. That's valid. It's just the album wasn't quite as like adventurous as I remembered it being. You could listen to this song as just an instrument, just an instrumental. You know, I was from the top of the track kind of torn this time around hearing the vocals on this song, and I don't know why. I've never had a problem with the vocals on this before, but like just hearing the track on its own. But there's something about this coming after Back in the U.S.S.R. that feels particularly like a pretty strange change of pace. It feels like we've seriously pumped the brakes to a screeching halt here, and just how different tonally the vocals are as well. There's something about this track that, while I think the song individually is great, this track placement is really odd.
The birds will sing that you were part of everything, dear Prudence. Won't you open up your eyes?
Learn them a new guitar technique while in India, and John wrote this after. I see.
Look around, round. Look around, round, round. Look around. Dear Prudence, let me see you smile. Dear Prudence, like a little child.
Who's the fifth Beatle? Me.
The clouds will be a daisy chain, so let me see you smile again, dear Prudence. Won't you let me see you smile? Dear Prudence, oh, won't you come out and play? Dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. Sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence.
The only album where you think the 2009 remaster is better, the 2018 mix drains the life out of it, in your opinion. I disagree. I love this mix. It's super lush. Like in the nice chunky bass that this has in particular. The drums as well feel particularly more impactful with this mix. This song gets way better as it goes along. I think that the way this track opens, especially coming off of Back in the U.S.S.R., it's just such a moment of like screeching to a halt that's kind of a little unsatisfying. As the track progresses, as it builds itself up, I kind of start to get adjusted to it. And by the time you reach that great explosive outro, I just am fully enveloped in the incredible atmosphere that this track builds. I think that this is one of John Lennon's most interesting vocal performances. Not good or bad, but interesting in that it's performed with such a specific cadence, and the layering is so specifically harsh that it's memorable. I can't decide whether I like it or not, but it's certainly memorable. And also it kind of has his trademark, at this point in the Beatles catalog, his trademark kind of weirdo lyrics that I really fuck with as well. This is like another solid 8 for me. Like another load to solidate. Shit, this album is off to just as solid a start as I remember. Next up we have Glass Onion.
I told you about strawberry fields. You know the place where nothing is real. Well, here's another place you can go, where everything flows. Looking through the bent-back tulips.
This literally sounds like being dropped into like 2 minutes into a song. This feels it feels like I've been dropped into the middle of like a 5-minute track, like 2.5 minutes in or something. Why does this song fucking start like that? That's so jarring.
Looking through a glass onion. I told you about the war is a mean man. You know that we're as close as can be, man. Well, here's another clue for you all. The walrus was Paul, standing on the cast iron shore, yeah. Lady Madonna trying to make ends meet, yeah. Looking through a glass onion.
There is a movie called Glass Onion, the Knives Out film. It's very good.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Johnson cooking with the Knives Out trilogy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Looking through a glass onion. I told you about the fool on the hill. I tell you, man, he's living there still. Well, here's another place you can be. Listen to me. Dicks in the hole in the ocean. Trying to make a dovetail joint, yeah. Looking through a glass onion.
This is the first song that I remembered absolutely fucking nothing about. Huh. I'm torn. This album so far is the first Beatles album where immediately, the first of like the critically acclaimed era Beatles albums, like Rubber Soul and onwards, where immediately I have some pretty big issues. I think that the flow of this album so far has been really bad. This track placement has been fucking like super rough. The album has not flowed in a way that's been satisfying at all. Like, these first 3 tracks feel so jittery back to back. It's making for a very unsatisfying listen. In terms of the way it's flowing together so far. The songs themselves are good. They're placed fucking horribly, though. This is just terrible album structure. The song itself is fine. I like the self-referential lyrics. I appreciate the more driving nature of this track, but again, the fact that the song starts and it feels like we're already halfway into a track, the fact that the song just... Jesus Christ, I didn't mean to do that. Fucking hell. I fucking just scared the shit out of myself. The fact that we kind of start and it feels like we're... already halfway into a track, and the song just kind of doesn't take a moment to breathe at any point. It's just kind of like the album a little unsatisfying. Good, but unsatisfying on the whole. I would give this a low 7. It's decent. It's a solid track on its own, but I don't know. I have my gripes about this. You think it being a bit of a mess is what makes it special? Something can be messy, but still be satisfying. I think of an album like Quebec by Ween. That album, every single song sounds completely fucking different to one another. It feels like you're bouncing between different albums, but it flows so well. The album flows really well. This doesn't. Like at all. I think the songs are good, but it's just this placement and... the way that this album has kind of presented these ideas back to back, that just as an album experience, it's not as strong as I remember it being up to this point, though I do like the songs themselves. Obla Di Obla Da, this is the song that everyone fucking hates, isn't it? Bruh. Motherfucker said bruh. Bruh. Queen are definitely influenced by the Beatles. Oh, definitely. There are 3 songwriters, so the songs are going to be different. No. I think that the different songwriters has not been an issue on the previous Beatles albums up to this point. I think that them going for it's clearly intentional, the songs being such immense tonal whiplash. It's clearly intentional. But I feel like they've gone a little too hard on that, and it's made the album feel like super disjointed, as opposed to like Revolver or Sgt. Pepper's, where those albums feel like actually pretty tightly knit, especially Sgt. Pepper's. This album feels like we're just in a similar way to maybe like Magical Mystery Tour's kind of feeling of disjointedness. Holy shit, I can't talk today. Wouldn't say disjointed, more unpredictable and versatile. That's how I'd describe Revolver. You know, the last word I would expect to describe a Beatles song with is annoying. This is really fucking annoying, dude. I'm starting to remember why people don't like this song that much. The song is pissing you off, same. This is... How come I never sing along with the songs? Because I have dignity. That was fucking terrible. Wow. Yeah, I'm feeling a high 3 to like a flat 4 on that. I would not expect a late era Beatles track to get to the point of actually being bad. Like, it feels like, for the most part, the Beatles have created, like, mostly great tracks with some mid-cuts in the mix, but they've never gotten to outright being bad. This is the first song that's this late in their discography that I can say is bad. I cannot fucking believe how annoying this track is. Like, I've you know, there have been a handful of tracks that I feel like have been a bit indulgent. There have been a handful of tracks that I think have been a little bit boring. This is just flat out. This feels like the band, like, fucking getting right up in your face, like, and trying to actively aggravate you. Temporary Secretary got competition. It's not that fucking bad. It's not that bad. The song still does have some catchy elements. I think that the instrumental has its moments where it does kind of shine. But man, this is a bad song. A late era Beatles track is a bad song. Yikes. I remember the album picking itself up in the second half. I'm really hoping it does, because so far I've enjoyed these first 4 tracks for the most part, besides Obladi Oblada. But the album has been super disjointed up to this point, and it's a little frustrating. I'm really hoping that it picks itself up, because so far we're looking at, like, easily the weakest of, like, the post, like, Rubber Soul era Beatles right now. Wild Honey Pie. Oh, Jesus Christ. Listen to the 107 tracks. Yeah, all the different versions. No Ween without this. Yeah, but at least Ween have the courtesy of making good music. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's 2 bad songs back to back. I'm feeling a flat 3 on that. Ooh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this album better pick itself up, dude. They're just taking the piss. I know, but that doesn't excuse how genuinely insufferable that, especially coming after Obla Di Obla Da was. Fuck, dude. It's barely a song. Only put it on because George's wife loved it for some reason. Well, that 3 out of 10 is George's wife's fault. You can blame her, not me. The continuing story of Bungalow Bill. Revolution 9 will save the album. I wonder what will make people more pissed off at me. The 3 out of 10 and the 4 out of 10 I just gave to those 2 songs, or the 10 out of 10 that Revolution 9 is going to get at the end of this album.
Hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill? Bungalow Bill. Hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill?
Why is it a 3? Because it's not the worst thing in the world.
He went out tiger hunting with his elephant and gun. In case of accidents, he always took his mom. He's the all-American bullet-headed Saxon mother's son. All the children sing. Hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill? Bungalow Bill. Hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill?
Wait, that's Yoko?
Bungalow Bill.
Wait, is this the first Yoko Ono appearance? Oh, God. See, that's why the album's been a 0 out of 10 so far. It's because Yoko Ono is in the studio. I see. I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking. What do I think about the cover of the album? What, this version of the album? Mid. The actual just like original cover where it's just white, that's a W.
All the children sing. Hey, Bungalow Bill. Him if to kill was not a sin.
He looked so fierce.
His mommy butted in. If looks could kill, it would have been us instead of him. All the children sing. Hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill?
Yeah. Well, already got the fucking title of the song. The continuing story of Bungalow Bill. That's it. I give that like a solid 7. Track's fun. It has its catchy moments. I think the verses do present a little bit of tonal whiplash in comparison to the chorus in a way that's kind of unsatisfying, but the individual pieces of the track are good enough. I would give it a solid 7. Wouldn't come back to the song on its own necessarily because of the kind of disjointed tone, but still. Solid. Decent track. Big step up from the previous 2. Big step up. While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Look at you all, see the love that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. Look at the floor, and I see it needs sweeping. I don't know why. Nobody told you.
Oh, yeah! This is the melody that Oasis ripped off in where he says, "I want you to know I got my mind made up now."
And I want you to know I got my mind made up now, but I need more time.
This is one of the melodies that Liam Gallagher stole. Fuck Oasis, by the way. She's electric, thank you.
I don't know how someone controlled you.
Oh my god, dude.
They bought
Where has this shit been on the last couple songs?
I look at the world and I notice it's turning. Every mistake we must surely be learning. Still my guitar gently weeps.
Man, that build is so fucking good. The ramping up of the tension here is so well paced. John pegging noises. Yeah, this track's pretty fantastic. Maybe a little bloated. You know, maybe the song doesn't need to be quite as long as it is, but I don't know. For the most part, this track is just incredible riffing, the best vocal melodies on the entire album up to this point, the best writing, the song that feels the most like it understands exactly what it needs to do to be as satisfying as it can possibly be. This is the first song on the entire album that feels like an actual complete cohesive experience front to back. Even with like the first two songs me thinking they were great, I think that this track is the album showing that it can still create like that, especially this era of the Beatles level quality, you know? I would give this one easily like a solid 9. Song is fucking stunning. Head to toe beautiful. Minor pacing issues, but I'm not going to let that get in the way of just how fucking breathtaking of a track this is on its own. Happiness is oh god. Happiness, I remember this song, and if I remember correctly, this song has shrunk on me a good bit.
A girl who misses much. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh yeah. She's well acquainted with the touch of the velvet hand, like a lizard on a window pane. The man in the crowd with the multicolored mirrors on his hobnail boots, lying with his eyes while his hands are busy working overtime. A soap impression of his wife, which he ate and donated to the National Trust.
I think I'm thinking of a different song, I can't lie. Because this is not what I remember this sounding like at all.
I need a fix, 'cause I'm going down to the bits that I left uptown. I need a fix, 'cause I'm going down. Mother Superior jumped the gun. 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 gone. Happiness
Oh, there we go.
gone.
And it goes into this stupid bullshit. Bang bang shoot shoot bullshit. Yeah. This is the part of this song I remember, and I can't lie. I can't stand this. The first half of this song is fucking incredible, man. I genuinely, this clouds this song so much. I love the first half so much, and then the back half is so fucking bad that it completely clouds my judgment of this track. I hate this switch up. Like, to a degree that I cannot explain. It completely just rips me right out. Immediately pulls all of the tension built, immediately pulls all of, like, just that incredible fucking vocal melody, everything, the writing, all of it is ruined by the back half. I can't fucking stand it, genuinely. I don't know why this song switches up like this. It is so tragic because it's like the best sounding song on the whole album, and it does this.
When I hold you in my arms and I feel my finger on your trigger, I know nobody can do me no harm because warm, yes it is. God. But don't you know that happiness is a warm gun, mama?
Waiting for old people to shit on me on the video. Listen, the first half of the song's fucking amazing. The first half of this track is actually, like, breathtaking, smooth, slick as hell. Like, some of the best shit the album has provided. Like, the first half of this song is, like, 10 out of 10 territory. Legitimately. And then the switch up is just fucking dumb. It's actually so fucking dumb. It's so on the nose. It's surprisingly, like, amateurish? I would genuinely describe it as amateurish for the beat. I cannot believe that the song decides to take such a steaming shit on itself as hard as it does at the halfway point after it's given you literally the most, like, beautiful, most absolutely fucking breathtaking first half. Like, legitimately, I cannot believe how bad the second half of this song is. Evens itself out to about a high 4 for me. There's your hot take. There's your big hot take of the album so far. Happiness is a Warm Gun is a song that I think ruins itself. Like, the confusion I felt at the beginning of the song being like, hang on a sec, this doesn't sound as bad as I remember it being. And then I heard the switch up, I was like, oh, because it happens halfway through the song. And it's completely clouded my memory of the track so much that I forgot that there was an actual good song in the first half. Martha, my dear.
Martha, my dear, though I spend my days in conversation, please remember me. Martha, my love, don't forget me. Martha, my dear, hold your head up, you silly girl. Look what you've done. When you find yourself in the thick of it, help yourself to a better what is all around you. Silly girl, take a good look around you.
Oh.
Take a good look, you're bound to see that you and me were meant to be for each other. Silly girl.
Wow.
Silly girl. Martha, my dear, you have always been my inspiration. Please be good to me. Martha, my love, don't forget me.
This feels like a Beatles
Martha,
song.
my dear.
This might blow your mind. If you keep looking in the general direction my finger is pointing, you will see that this was in fact released by the Beatles, so it would make sense. Yeah, the song's delightful. Getting a solid 8 on that. That was nice. A fun piano ballad with some solid instrumental switches, like bringing in the strings, switching to more of like a bumpy kind of rock section at one point in the track. That was fun. A simplistic track with like minor switches to add a whole bunch of variety. Some of the more fun vocal melodies on the entire album as well. I really like that one. I'm so tired.
I'm so tired, I haven't slept a wink. I'm so tired, my mind is on the blink. I wonder, should I get up and fix myself a drink? No, 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 I'm so tired, I don't know what.
All rise for the Human Reviews anthem, yes. This is the Insomnia anthem.
My mind is set on you. I wonder, should I call you? But I know what you would do. You'd say, I'm putting you on, but it's no joke. It's doing me harm, you know I can't sleep. I can't stop my brain, you know it's 3 weeks. I'm going insane, you know I give you everything I've got for a little peace of mind. I'm so tired, I'm feeling so upset. Although I'm so tired,
I'm not too sure just yet, Space Ashes.
and cursed Sir Walter
Alright, Gage, thank you for being here.
He was such a stupid get. You'd say, putting you on, but it's no joke. It's doing me harm, you know I can't sleep. I can't stop my brain, you know it's 3 weeks. I'm going insane, you know I give you everything I've got for a little peace of mind. I give you everything I've got for a little peace of mind. I give you everything I've got for a little peace of mind.
Yeah, that was just another simple, great cut. Maybe it was just one was a little longer. I feel like 2 minutes is a little brief for this track. It felt like it could have maybe gone through a little bit more development. But honestly, when the song was as catchy as it is, when it had as fun as of an instrumental as it did, Jesus, I can't fucking speak today. I can't complain too much. Yeah, another solid 8 for me. This first half is a very mixed bag, but when it hits, it does really hit. You know, I think the great tracks do stand out and are legitimately incredibly fun. For as much as I'm not loving this album as much as I did before, I am like I am seeing it as like a worth it listen because the great songs do actually legitimately feel incredibly worth it to get through the moments that feel like filler, you know? That's what I remember feeling like when listening to this the first time. I remember thinking that the second disc was like some of the best the Beatles had to offer, and then the first disc was you know, good, but not as good as some of their other shit. Blackbird.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life.
Apparently he revealed this song to a group of fans gathered outside his house the night before the album was released. Damn.
You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Yeah, Blackbird is just an absolutely lovely acoustic ballad, acoustic guitar ballad, specifically. Yeah, the song, so well written, immediately, so damn immersive. I love the intimacy of this track, just the acoustic guitar and the vocals and that kind of being it, besides the metronome. The little like field recordings of the birds being added into the mix is a nice way of I don't know, adding a little bit of fleshing out to the environment of this song too. I like just the full commitment to the minimalism on this track. It's really sweet. This one is a high 8, like just below a 9 for me. Sweet as hell. Absolutely lovely. Piggies.
Have you seen the little piggies crawling in the dirt? And for all the little piggies, life is getting worse. Always having dirt to play around in. Have you seen the bigger piggies in the starched white sheds? You will find the bigger piggies stirring up the dirt. What goes on around? In their eyes there's something lacking. What they need's a damn good whacking.
Song's such a mess. You have to listen over 50 times for it to click. I see. That's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Clutching forks and knives to eat the bacon. One more time.
I don't know why they're like not doing a good job with the goofy songs this time around. I feel like the Beatles, when they do like the super silly shit, it can be a little hit and miss. But I feel like the goofy songs have just all fallen flat on their face this time around, man. And this is a perfect example of that, where it's such a mess. It's trying to do too many things at once. It's trying to have too many things to say at a single time. It feels like every single instrumental element is clashing with one another, and not in a way that feels intentional, in a way that feels like it completely hinders the experience of what could otherwise be a solid, like, harpsichord-led track. I don't know, man. It sucks how much this album is shrinking on me this time around. Like, I went into this a little bit worried that it could do so, but like, I have the songs that I'm loving, but for the most part, I'm seeing this as a pretty mixed experience this time. And I think it's the goofier, sillier moments that the band aren't really doing a good job at keeping tonally consistent with everything else. I'd give that song like a solid 4. It's not the worst thing in the world, but Rocky Raccoon.
Now somewhere in the black mining hills of Dakota there lived a young boy named Rocky Raccoon. And one day his woman ran off with another guy, hit young Rocky in the eye. Rocky didn't like that. He said, I'm gonna get that boy. So one day he walked into town, booked himself a room in the local saloon. Rocky Raccoon checked into his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Rocky had come equipped with a gun to shoot off the legs of his rival.
He drew fast and shot, and Rocky collapsed in the corner.
Last time John used a harmonica in a Beatles song. Damn.
Now the doctor came in, stinking of gin, and proceeded to lie on the table. He said, Rocky, you met your match. And Rocky said, Doc, it's only a scratch. And I'll be better, Doc, as soon as I am able. And now Rocky Raccoon, he fell back in his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Gideon checked out, and he left it, no doubt, to help with good Rocky's revival. Oh, yeah, yeah. Come on, Rocky boy, come on, Rocky boy, let's start rocking every time.
I've got to be honest. This track kind of similar to Dear Prudence, kind of got better as it went along. For me, it started off a little rocky. No, it started off a little rocky towards the beginning. I thought the spoken word stuff was a little silly, and the acoustic guitar part wasn't really doing too much for me. But as the track built up, as it kind of went into like the ragtimey section, the incorporation of things like the harmonica and the goofy vocal performance here as well, it all kind of just led to a track that I found to be overwhelmingly charming by the end. I'd give it like a flat 8, I think. I'm not head over heels for this song or anything like that. This isn't one that I'd see myself coming back to too regularly or anything like that. It's not my absolute favorite of the album so far, but it is pretty charming, and it is one that I definitely wouldn't skip when listening to the album front to back. Don't pass me by.
I listen for your footsteps.
Ah, the Ringo
coming
song,
up
okay.
the drive. Listen for your footsteps, but they don't arrive. Does it mean you don't love me anymore? I hear the clock ticking.
The fuck was that?
On the mantel shelf, see the hands are moving, but I'm by myself. I wonder where you are tonight, or why I'm by myself. I don't see you. Does
He wrote
it
this
mean
himself?
you don't love me
This is the first song he wrote, isn't it?
anymore? Don't pass me by, don't make me cry, don't make me blue. 'Cause you know, darling, I love only you. You were in a car crash, and you lost
The song
your
really
head.
feels like it needs to wrap up
Said that
soon.
you would be late.
It started off charming, but it's already worn on me.
That's all right, I'm waiting here, just waiting to
It has
hear from
already
you.
worn off on me. Fuck, the Family Guy clip. It is way too long. The song could have been cut in half, honestly. At least it's not the band giving Ringo a bad song this time. At least it's not, the rest of the band being like, oh shit, yeah, we need to give Ringo a song. Here you go, here's some bullshit. It's actually Ringo writing his own bad song this time. Well done, Ringo. I'm feeling a low 5 on this. Probably a flat 5. I think that this track, it starts off charming enough. It has some questionable moments, but, Ringo's given a solid enough vocal performance. I think that the writing is sweet enough as well. Him writing a kind of a sappy love song, but, I don't really mind because Ringo's got that aura. And then as the track progresses, it just gets tiring. It moves to even more annoying sections. This instrumental gets grating as hell. Ringo's voice starts taking a little bit of a toll on this track, as I find his inflection to get a little bit aggravating too. It's not terrible, but yeah, it's kind of It's insane. He has to be wait, what? Oh, the happiness is a warm gun. See, this is the part that I don't miss about the Beatles discussion is the opinions are not tolerated. Yes, I think that happiness is a warm gun. Like, truly, yes. I have no one I need to please or upset in this chat. I genuinely don't like the back half of happiness is a warm gun. Fucking sue me. This is the part that I do not miss about talking about the Beatles, is that when I state an opinion, it gets met with, you're lying. Good rage bait.
Why don't we do it in the road? Why don't we do it in the road? Why don't we do it in the road? Why
I'm gonna hate this. I remember this song.
in the road? Why don't we do it in the road?
What purpose does this serve this album? Like, at least with the previous Beatles albums, every single song has felt like it's... Well, almost every single song has felt like it's actually added to the experience of the album. I genuinely don't know why this is here. I don't know what this is adding to. I don't know what this is meant to be saying, or like how it's meant to be fleshing out the experience of listening to this. This feels like the fucking definition of filler. I don't understand why this is here.
No one will be watching us. Why don't we
The song is the metaphysical relationship between asphalt and wormholes. Ah, I see.
Why don't we do it?
My album could have been a single album, some of the best stuff along with half of their worst stuff. Absolutely, yeah.
No one will be watching us. Why don't we do it in the road?
That's the most fucking like nothing burger Beatles song I've ever heard. It's Paul McCartney just doing his like crazy vocal thing over a boring instrumental for about a minute and 40. It doesn't need to be on this album. I'm feeling a solid to high 4 on that. Doesn't need to be here. It's kind of annoying. It's not. It's kind of inoffensive though, so it doesn't go anywhere beneath a 4 for me. I will.
Who knows how long I've loved you? You know I love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. For if I ever saw you,
What was your favorite Beatle? Is lows or very low? Yeah, on this album in particular.
but it never really mattered. I
I kind of fucking love this song this time around. I specifically remember this one being one I was kind of mixed on when first listening to the album, not being the craziest on it. But I have to say, a nice under 2 minute simplistic, more intimate track. Great layered vocals here. This just sound absolutely fucking stunning. I think that for a minute and 45 track, this actually does provide a lot to chew on. And I think that this song does a lot more in terms of actually fleshing out the tone and the aesthetic of this album than even some of the upwards of 3 minute songs have up to this point. I really appreciate this song's inclusion. Feeling a low 8 on this. Final track of the first disc, Julia. Sent me some Beatles B-Floor.
But I say it just to reach you, Julia. Seashell eyes, windy smile, calls me sky is shimmering, glimmering in the sun. Julia, Julia, morning moon, touch me.
Donovan
So I
influence.
sing a song of love,
I kind of see it, yeah.
when I cannot sing my heart,
You know, the ultra simplistic instrumental,
I can only
the super emotionally
speak
open
my
storytelling.
mind. Julia,
Julia is a lovely track to close out the first disc of this album. I'm feeling a high 8 on it. Another lovely acoustic track that is just such a loving tribute to John's mother. A track that is lyrically impactful, that it benefits greatly from its instrumental simplicity and minimalism, and just allows the emotions to flow so naturally in a way that's so easy to connect to and so easy to, I don't know, just kind of feel in the moment. Solid ass song. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to calculate my score for the first disc, and then I'll calculate my score for the second disc, and we'll see which one gets a higher score, and then I'll obviously do the overall album score at the end as well. Wow. My score for the first half of the album, the calculated score is a 6.9, and I'd probably up that by a point or two to a low 7. It's a mixed bag. The first half of this album is a mixed bag. It has its great cuts, it has its incredible cuts, and it has songs that I think are legitimately some of the band's weakest, like full stop. I really don't understand why this album is as long as it is. Genuinely, the decision to make this a double album is quite fucking baffling. Like, incredibly baffling. I really feel like half of the songs here could have been cut, and this would have been a much more enjoyable experience up to this point. And I'm hoping the back half of the album can improve that. How much of a rating change is that? Let me see. Let me calculate, because I still have all of my original scores up here. Let me calculate what my original score for the first half of the album would have been when I first listened to this. My original score for the album the first time around would have been about an 8.2. And now the calculated score is a 6.9. So it has shrunk on me, indeed. It has shrunk on me, indeed. Has the flow gotten better? Not particularly, no. I think that I've just kind of come to expect the bad flow at this point, so I'm not really mentioning it too much. But yeah, which shrunk the most? Warm Gun. Happiness as a Warm Gun went down 4 entire points. Yeah, that's the one that shrunk the most. I Will grew the most. I Will went from a 6 to an 8.
End of part 1. Intermission.
I am a complete idiot, and I forgot to film an outro for the video, so here it is. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below and how it compares to other Beatles albums for you. Yeah, massive thanks to Chivo for editing this. He has edited all of the Beatles re-reactions, so I greatly appreciate it. A link to his album of the year will be in the description. Definitely go give him a follow. Yeah, like and sub if you haven't. We are on our way to 4K. Links to the description to my Discord, my album of the year, my Twitter, and my other channels. Check those out if you haven't, and I will see you all whenever our next stream or upload. Bye-bye.